Hey guys, Jen here. I am coming to you from Croatia, my second home on this planet. Now, for those of you who are used to watching our channel, you know that half the year, 6 months of the year, we are on the road leading group tours around Central Europe. But the other half of the year is split between my country of the United States and my husband's country of Croatia. And of course, during the tour season, when we have time off, Croatia is our home base. We live in my husband's hometown of Crikvenica. Over the past couple years of living in Croatia, I have noticed a few things as an expat that I really love about Croatia, and a few things that I hate about Croatia. No place is perfect. Everything has its pluses and its minuses, its positives and its negatives. And Tiger just wants to be where we are. We come in to make the video, he gets up off the bed and comes and lays down. You are such a good boy. Yes, you are. And, you know, people want to know, what are the great things about living in Croatia? What are the bad things? Which place is better, US or Croatia? So I thought I'd put together a list of things that I personally really like and dislike about my new country of Croatia. One of the amazing things about Croatia is its nature. There are 8 national parks in this little country, and they are stunningly beautiful. In addition to that, you have a fantastic coastline. The colors of the water and the islands, the rivers, the lakes, the parks. If you are an outdoor enthusiast, if you like nature, if you like hiking, if you like water sports, you need to visit Croatia. And fortunately, I love hiking and I love being outside in nature, so Croatia is fantastic. We have had amazing trips to places like Plitvice National Park. We've actually been there quite a number of times. Krka National Park. All along, up and down the coastline. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous country. I don't know if you can hear the whistling wind outside. We've got pretty good windows and doors that insulate quite well. But one of the things I really, really hate about Croatia is bura. It's this wind that comes in horrible gusts, like hurricane force gusts of wind, and it's scary. Miloš says it's year round, but I seem to notice it more in winter, I guess because it's colder. Anyway, it's scary. I'm gonna go outside and show you a little bit. Just look past the cat netting here on the balcony. That's for Tiger to be protected when he's on the balcony. Another thing that I really love about Croatia is the history. You guys, we're not far from the Istrian Peninsula, where you have the Roman amphitheater of Pula, and then you work your way all the way down the coastline to Dubrovnik, the amazing walled city that has stood there for centuries. It's so ancient, and that's something that's really hard for an American to wrap our brains around, just the ancient history of these places. If you love studying especially Roman history, history of Central Europe, history of empires that have conquered and reconquered different places, everything is here. You know, if you go to Split, you can walk into the Diocletian Palace. It's really like nothing else. And I know people think of places like Italy, but you guys, we're right across the water from Italy. We've got all of that right here in Croatia. One of the things that's really frustrating, and I'm not gonna say that I hate this, this is just a cultural difference and something that's frustrating as an expat, and that is the lack of variety and being able to get things whenever you like. Like back home in the States, if I forget something and I need to run to the grocery store at midnight, no problem, I'll go to the grocery store at midnight. Here, that's not an option. Also, you know, back home, I got Target. I can go one place and get everything. There's Starbucks. In my town, there's Lowe's, 2 grocery stores, Home Goods, Marshall's, Ross, everything I need, it's right there. I can get everything. Here in Croatia, we have to walk around between different stores that are close by, and then if we need something really specialty, we need to drive up to Rijeka, which is the next closest city, check it out, see if we can find anything there. And then once we find out that nobody's ever heard of things like a spoon rest, I'm trying to find a spoon rest for the kitchen. No. Otherwise, you gotta find things online, and you don't have regular Amazon.com. You have to use Amazon from Germany or the UK, which doesn't have quite the selection either. So coming from a country where you can get anything you want at any time that you want it, it's just a little frustrating when you get to an environment where you don't have that kind of convenience. One of the best things that I really do love about Croatia is the food. So to give people an idea, especially where we live on the coast, and 50% of Croatia is on the coast, we're on the Adriatic Sea, right across from Italy. So when you think of some of that standard Italian type of food, that's what we have here in coastal Croatia. So we've got that Mediterranean, Italian style food, heavily influenced with seafood, of course, lots of calamari, lots of fish. And then of course you've got some influences from the inland part of Croatia where meat and potatoes are the standard, and they've got their own kind of recipes and spices and ways of preparing things. So all of these flavors come together to make up for Croatian cuisine, and it is so good. Another thing that's really challenging, I'm not gonna say, again, hate is a strong word for this one, but I'm going to say a challenge, and that's the Croatian language. You guys, it is hard. There are 7 cases. And then on top of those cases, you change the word ending of every word in the sentence. Now wrap your head around that, guys, especially for you English speakers out there. Yeah, I know we're used to changing the verb, but that's all that we change in English. In Croatian, you change the ending of every single word in the sentence. A noun, isn't just that noun. You have to say it in so many different ways depending on where it is in the sentence and how it's being used. It's so intimidating, it's so complicated. My Croatian knowledge is about, give or take, around 200 words, and I learned the infinitive, the pure part of the word, and I can pick that out in conversations and know what conversations are about. I can't even begin to start coming up with the grammar to try and know all those different word endings. It's so hard. The one thing they got going for it is the pronunciation is fairly simple because it's straightforward. A letter sounds like a letter. The letter A always sounds like ah. It's not like English where we have all different ways of pronouncing the same letters. At least in Croatian, you know exactly what it's gonna sound like when you see it. The other thing that really frustrates me with the language is I am so tired of people giving me crap about not being better at it. By now, I should know it better. As I mentioned, I'm pretty much only here 3 months of the year, and that's not 3 straight months. That's like 2 months in winter, and then the rest of the month interspersed throughout the 6 month of tour season when I'm coming home. I've got a stressful tour season, I've got stressful Christmas caroling season in the winter. My little bit of time off, I get all my weekends for the year in a cluster of 2.5, 3 months. Do you want to spend half your weekends studying? I know I'm not trying to come up with excuses, but my point is it's not as easy as it sounds. It's actually a lot more challenging, and I am working on it, and I'm doing my best, and I don't want people to give me crap about it. And let me show you. You saw at the beginning that he was keeping us company while we were taping this, but now he is up in his little kitty tower taking a nap. So let's go pay a quick visit to Tiger, our Croatian kitty. This little guy, Tiger, our little Croatian kitty. You can even see her on our channel, the story of how Tiger went from being a stray cat to being this very spoiled house kitty. But he is a very good boy, and we love him very much. Yes. He was napping. All right, so the number one thing that I hate the most about Croatia, and I use the word hate for this one on purpose, it's the smoking. Oh my God, you guys, so many people here smoke. It's horrible. I'd say 85–90% of the population here smoke. And those of you who are Croatian watching this probably think that's totally normal, but in my country of the US, 15 of the people smoke, and the people who do smoke, they do it in private. It's not something you do around people. It's not something that you flaunt. You know, back in the States, you go to a bar, there's no smoking. You go to an outdoor terrace to have a nice dinner, there's no smoking. Here, you cannot escape the smoke. If you want to go to a bar in winter, forget about it. You can cut the smoke with a knife when you walk inside a building. It's that bad. It burns your eyes, it burns your throat, you can't breathe, you're choking. Your hair and clothes smell like it. Your skin, everything. It's terrible. It's terrible. As an American coming from an overall non-smoking country, I can't stand it. It's the number one worst thing about Croatia.
It's national shame. As a Croatian, I can say it as well, and I'm not afraid to offend anybody. It is absolutely disgusting, horrible. And what you said, in the US, it's not you can't smoke in a bar. You can smoke, just go outside and smoke where you can't bother anyone else. That's it.
And where I'm from, you cannot smoke in the car with your kids. It's considered child abuse. And here people smoke around their kids and they're poisoning their children. It's horrible. I'm sorry. I cannot wrap my head around this one. And of course, the number one thing that I love the most about Croatia is my Croatian husband, Miloš. Who would have thought, 10 years ago, could I ever have foreseen myself where I am now? Here I am on the other side of the world, living on the coast of Croatia, looking out to the Adriatic Sea out my window, found my soulmate in another country, and here I am. We always joke around with people that you never know what can happen when you go on vacation, and we are the perfect example of that. But it is the best part about Croatia.
If you go on vacation, come to Croatia.
Miloš says, if you go on vacation, come to Croatia. I hope you've found this at least a little bit interesting and a little insight into the expat life in Croatia. There are some wonderful things about this country, and then there's some things that make it a little bit challenging to live here. Anyway, folks, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for lots more great travel videos from around the world. See you next time.